heavy, bulky, and ugly. If you carry a wheelchair in your car to take care of a loved one, you know how hard it is getting that clunky, old-style wheelchair in and out of your car. Introducing the Feather Chair Wheelchair. At 13 pounds, it's the world's lightest wheelchair. It folds in seconds and fits neatly in your trunk, backseat, or closet, so you can take it everywhere. And it's only available right here. Order yours today and get a free wheelchair case, a $50 value, yours free. The Feather Chair. The world's lightest wheelchair is just $4.99 with easy payments as low as $16 a month. Sorry, no Medicare or insurance accepted. So call right now to order yours.
800-823-5826. 800-823-5826. 800-823-5826. That's 800-823-5826.
Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395.
The voice of Johnson County, JoCo Community Radio.
Smoothie, me, ice cold pizza, cafe, ole, latte, da. You remember from Marathon. Of St. John, he's been locked because we both know that his mercy flows to a brand new day.
Good morning, Johnson County.
Good morning.
It's me, Sarah.
I'm trying to,
AKA Red, AKA High Octane, depending on the day.
right.
How are we today, Nona?
Oh, doing great. Can't complain. You know,
It's a wonderful, wacky, wild Wednesday.
if it's coming from us, it may be wacky and wild.
So many comments.
Or it might
so many
be just
comments.
way crazy.
So many
Forget
comments.
what's crazier than wacky and wild?
Um,
Let's see. What word would that really be?
I don't know, but I like neurodivergent. Speaking of that, so this morning I was driving in to town, take Elise to school and come to the station and all that jazz. So, you know, there's that lawnmower company off of Renfro.
Uh-huh.
Do you know what I'm talking about? And there's like the
Yes.
battery store next door.
Uh-huh.
Well, okay, so I've lived here practically my entire life, and we've lived out East Renfro. And so that as soon as that, you know, that used to be like Kelly's Tires and whatever, our neighbors used to own that place. It was called something else, I think. Anyway, whenever the lawnmower place went in, they always put the lawnmowers on display in front of that grass. There's like a little median right there in the middle, right in front of the ditch. And so they would line up the lawnmowers right there on display, and they always face the road. Well, I noticed, I've been noticing some changes, and I want to say, okay, who did you hire new to put the lawnmowers out? Because I think I identify as that person. Like, this is the most ADHD lawnmower display I've ever seen. I drive by, like, I've noticed it, like, the day before yesterday, or I guess it was yesterday, the lawnmowers were all turned around facing, they've always faced the road. They've always faced Renfro.
Which makes sense, right?
Like, it's advertisement. They want you to see the lawnmower. Well, I guess that whoever's putting lawnmowers out is like, maybe we ought to try something different. This is boring. Let's do something new. And I was like, okay. So they pointed all the lawnmowers towards their own parking lot.
So now
then
the
when you
ass shows.
yeah, when you drive by, you just see the back side of the lawnmowers. And so I think it was like that for like 2 days. And then this morning, they're like, okay, let's try something new again. And so then they like every other one is like, one is facing, you know, they're not facing the road. They're not facing the driveway. They're facing each other. So they're like partnered up, back to back, back to back, back to back, back to back, back to back. And I'm like, oh my, this is the most ADHD lawnmower display I've seen ever. And I'm like, I really want to call and say, did you hire somebody new?
Or they quit taking their ADHD medicine.
Do they need their meds again? You know, I know we've been on a national shortage and all, but there is help. At least they're still getting it on the road, you know, like it was cracking me up.
Oh my gosh. You'll have to notice it tomorrow and see if anything's changed.
Yeah, well, I'll have to see. Okay, I'll have to give the lawnmower report. Man, that just killed me this morning. I was like, oh, geez.
It's like, now I want to go
so
over and just like drive over there just to see.
Go check it out. Go see the lawnmower display.
Maybe that's why they're doing it.
You know, maybe
to get
it's
people
getting
to
us
talk about.
You know, sometimes you need to do something just a little bit different. See
Give
if
it
you're
a
getting
second. It
anybody's
might be on
attention.
BRT.
What?
I said, give it a second. It'll be on BRT.
Burleson
and residents talking.
Anybody notice the lawnmower display?
It's changed a couple of times.
It's like one of these things is not like
the other. Little Sesame Street there going on.
Anyway, I thought that was really interesting. So that was my little fun moment this morning. Oh, I had another one.
Oh God.
This was fun. I'm not sure what this says about me, but you know, I don't have a problem admitting when I'm wrong. It just doesn't happen very often. That's a joke. But so I had a friend that we stopped being friends for a short time, or I guess it was a long time. I don't know. And like we haven't talked in like a year. Well, then they kept seeing me out, and they finally came up to me and was like, I wanted to let you know, like, I'm sorry, you were right. And
you're like,
I'm gonna pause on that for a second.
What?
And she was like, and you know, can we just like start over? And I was like, I mean, yes, I was right. I knew I was right, but I didn't handle it right. I didn't handle it properly.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, you know, I definitely owe you a massive apology too, because I threw my sucker in the mud and didn't handle it very well. So, you know, then my daughter's like, so you're talking to so-and-so again? And I was like, yeah, we made up. And she was like, oh, how'd that happen? I said, well, she told me I was right.
And, you know, I can't. I mean, where else am I supposed to go with that?
Period. Not the end.
I mean,
she told me I was right. She was like,
look at the hair.
Elise was like, well.
Sometimes it just takes a second for, you know, after someone has an argument with somebody else, for them to stop and think, oh, you know, they were right.
Yeah.
Or,
you know,
they were still not right.
Time will tell, right?
Right. That's good. Congratulations.
Thanks. And
on your new friendship again.
Well, now I'm helping her get ready for her wedding, you know.
Yeah.
It's great.
That's awesome.
So I'm glad that I get to be there for her next stage of her life.
Awesome.
Yeah. And celebrate with her. Did Tiffany join?
Slowly.
Tiffany, you've been missing some good conversation here. Tiffany.
As she goes in and out. She's
like, nope, not ready. I don't want to talk to y'all yet. We spooked her.
I was on the wrong one.
There she is. You missed some good conversation there.
I heard something about whose wedding are you helping with? And
Well, she didn't say the name.
I missed it. I missed what the debacle was, but it sounded like whoever it was is somebody you reconnected with and
Reconnected, yes.
Yeah, she told me I was right.
Oh, don't you love that?
they got into an argument, and then
we made
a year later,
essentially,
that person came up and said, "You were right."
Yeah.
The best person to hear that from is your husband.
Well, I don't have one of those, so
spouse, your spouse. Your spouse finally says, "Oh,
shouldn't have that either."
You're right. Then you're like, what?
Wrong.
What did you say? You don't have one either?
Yeah, I don't have a husband or a spouse.
Husband or a spouse.
It is Wild Wednesday, isn't it?
That's right.
Anyway, so there's that.
I'm trying to find my better earbuds that, I don't know what it sounds like right now. I mean,
you're echoing a little, but that's it.
What's that?
I said
It's
you're
just a little echoey, but it's not terrible.
I'm working on that.
Okay.
I'm working on that.
You should. No, I'm just joking.
Get it together.
Let's see what she has in her purse.
Everything.
She have everything in the kitchen sink? Woo-hoo!
So anyway,
how was your Thanksgiving? Can you talk and?
Yeah, I mean,
you weren't here to talk about Thanksgiving yesterday with us.
It was absolutely fantastic. I mean, other than being, sick. Hang on, I'm swapping over. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Can you?
We have
can
not
you hear me now.
Yeah, we can still hear you.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
It's still a little echoey, but I think it's the room you're in.
Oh, there you go. Can you guys? Can you hear me?
That's way better.
That's better. Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't have my volume up for the headphones, so I couldn't hear you. And I was like, oh, can you? I can't hear you. No, it was really good. I mean, other than being, sick, I mean, I still got up early in the morning and got the turkey going and got all the food going. And it just kind of, I took medicine and,
powered through.
Yeah, that was the first thing I did, which typically is not what I do on Thanksgiving morning. Typically it's, I'm up, I start moving, I start cooking and getting everything going. And then the day just kind of goes like that. And then, an hour before people are supposed to be here, I'm typically jumping in the shower and finally getting myself cleaned up for the day. And because I was sick, that was the first thing I did was I got up and took a really long hot shower. And what?
This is steam therapy,
right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And like I did it like in slow motion, like washing my hair, And just in case anybody wanted a visual. And so it was actually nice. It was like, wow, I have my face on and my hair is done. Like I got done, got out of the shower, got my turkey, my stuffing done, got it stuffed, got it in the oven. And then I, went and finished kind of dressing myself. And anyway, details, right? And I mean, so the day just kind of, went and it turned out, it was a fabulous day. I mean, as long as you can make it through like that, over that hump when you're not feeling good and you're cooking for people, what are you laughing at?
I'm not.
Oh,
I was like,
my neurodivergent shit starting up. Like I'm like twinging or some shit. I don't know.
So, I mean, honestly, it was great. I honestly got a lot done too. I mean, just because we're under construction in the back part of the house. So like the, good portion of the back part of my house is in the front part of my house right now. And so other than I was able to just look at it and go, I don't care. It's family coming over. They understand what we have going on.
Yeah. Right.
And it can't be spotless right now. And it can't be perfect. And that's okay. They don't care.
Family doesn't care anyway.
They're there to eat my food and just enjoy time together. And And I was able to put together my new dining room, my new old dining room hutch, and display all my mom's china, and that was
Aw.
just so that I did a lot. I did a lot, and that in itself just kind of brought me joy that I got to do that. So I'm just there was a lot of gratitude, and all my children are home, and that in
Yay.
itself is like you know
Huge.
to have all your kids in one place is fabulous. Having adult children live at home is a completely different level of gratitude, but
I understand.
yeah, yeah, you do. But you know where they are, you know that they're safe, and
Right.
everything's going to be okay. And so just grateful to God for, I mean, so many things. But that's that one thing with Thanksgiving is like a lot of people will start doing that day of let me give you a moment of gratitude every day. But I mean, we need to do that every day of the year,
Right.
is to wake up in a place of gratitude. And if you're a believer, then we thank God, and if you're not, still be grateful.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a completely different. It changes your day.
Right.
Like, it really does change your day. And
Mhm.
we had, I know somebody else who said, they just turned, actually, it was my brother-in-law, and happy belated birthday, not belated because we were there for it, but for Tamara's husband, my brother-in-law, Robbie Payne,
Mhm.
veteran Irving fireman. He turned 60 last week. And so Wednesday, because he was at the fire station for Thanksgiving. So Wednesday, we all went bowling for his birthday. And he said, and this is the truth, right? We all think about, like just the turning of the age. And he said, it's interesting. He goes, because I'm heading into my 61st year, really. It's the beginning of his 61st
Yeah, you
year.
finished
Yeah.
60 years.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And so you're heading into that next journey.
Right.
And I was like, that's such a great way of looking at it. Like so many people are like, oh, I don't want to talk about my age, or I'm blah, blah, blah
Right.
years old. I mean, it's a celebration to be another year older. There's no shame in it.
Yeah,
Right.
my birthday was on the 19th, and somebody was like, happy 29th birthday. And I was like, oh, hell no, I'm not going backwards. I'm going forward.
Right. Right.
I'm like, there's no way I want to start over. And anyway, yeah. And my mother was raised and taught us that you wear your age as a badge of honor anyway.
Right.
Like
Mhm.
you've come this far. Like, don't back up now.
Right.
Yeah. That's so funny. Eric Lee said, I don't know. Yeah, no, it totally is. And it just made me think of something, and I just lost my train of thought. It's like I was thinking about this the other day, actually. Again, one of 7 kids. And it's pretty amazing that in our lifetime, and all of the age ranges, we range from 60 to how old's the youngest? 47. 60 to 47. And we're all alive.
Mhm.
And so for a big family like that, and you really start to think about it, I'm like, I'm super grateful. I have all of my siblings still.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's pretty awesome. I mean, we lost our mom, but that's like a place of gratitude. We've come this
Right.
far, So anyway, I mean, I've enjoyed going through social media and seeing, some more of my friends turn 50, and some who I were in high school with turning 51 and 52 and whatever. And I just enjoy seeing it and going, man, they haven't changed. Like we've all changed in some way,
Right.
but we're still, don't you find it interesting? Like, you look back, or you look in the mirror one day and you go, I mean, I guess I look different.
Well,
But
I
I
mean,
kind of
we've
feel like I look better.
changed and we morph a little bit and we become better humans, or I mean, hopefully we become better humans. But at the end of the day, like when you go back and you look at your people, like I still see all my people and I still see them as, like they're still the same person on the inside. They're still the same person as a whole. They're just, yeah, we've just grown up a little, and like
Right.
it is really neat to watch everybody grow up
Right. Right.
and to think we were,
That is the thing I'm thankful on
pimply,
Facebook for
snot-nosed kids once.
is just getting to keep in touch with those I went to school with. I mean, I've been out of school for 30 plus years. And so, yeah, we're all in our 50s now. And, we all have grown adult children now that are having their own children.
Yeah.
And so
Speak for
that,
yourself. Speak for yourself.
and then
Speak for yourself.
I'm talking about the ones I went to school with.
Oh, okay.
But then I also enjoy getting to still keep in touch with those I taught that are grown adults now, and some are in their 30s now.
Yeah.
I know it's got a weird feeling. Some I think are about to hit their 40s.
Yep. Yeah, we are.
And
We're getting
so,
close.
I mean, it's so cool to also watch them grow and, I
know that you had an impact, or
Yes,
you were a
yes.
part of that. You were a part of that development.
It's also weird because, like, I ran into one of them. She had twins. Now I will say she did have them fairly right after she finished high school. And so her twins are like sophomores right now.
Wow.
And my son is considered a senior. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so weird.
Yeah, that's surreal, right?
But we ran into each other one couple of years ago. Well, actually, when they were all still in middle school, and because they were all going to the same middle school. Now they're, I think, in Joshua. So, but it's just so weird to see that and run into kids that you taught, having kids in school now.
Yeah, I know.
So, but that is what I think I'm the most grateful for Facebook for, is just keeping in touch with
Yeah, it makes
people
you
that
still,
you
it
haven't
really,
seen
yeah.
since high school that, I mean, yeah, y'all may not be like the closest, but just kind of getting to see how everybody's doing, or sometimes we bounce things off of each
Yeah.
other still.
Or you grieve
know?
for the other person. You see what
Right.
they're going through and you're like, "Oh man, I'm so sorry and I'm praying for you," or whatever, or you get to be happy with them and you're like,
right.
"Wow, I'm so happy you got to do that,
Right.
or you got to
Or
have kids," or
congratulations, you're
yeah,
got
it's
this beautiful
awesome.
granddaughter,
Like
whatever. Yeah.
it really is a good community. As much shit as people give it,
Yeah.
it really has been
At one time,
effective at doing what it was
I think
supposed
it got
to
a
do.
little ugly, but for the most Facebook was more for just connecting people and keeping
And
people connected.
it is what you make it.
Right. It is. It is. So,
Well, all social media is. But I mean,
yeah.
Every part of our lives, I mean, literally every part of our lives is exactly that.
Right.
It is what you make it, right? And so and there's so many different people out there that are making an impact, and some of those people get really beat up on social media for doing just that, whether it's a whistleblower or someone who's,
or somebody reporting the dad bod car wash as inappropriate. Like,
yeah.
I mean, just okay.
but in saying that, I mean, there really are people out there who get beat up for being that type of person, and I don't want to segue into that because there's a couple of women who've been part of some whistleblowers in Godly ISD,
Yeah.
and other school districts as well, especially across Texas, because there's such a massive transition that's going on for our children. And Kayla Lane Herberger is one of them, along with Mary Lowe. And Mary Lowe is part of a parent organization, Parents' Rights in Education, right? Yeah, Parents' Rights in Education. And so she's not from Johnson County. Mary does not live in Johnson County. And so there's been some major news. In fact, it hit national news just yesterday. And
Yeah, we didn't talk about it. We didn't have
well,
enough information.
we hadn't
Like we
seen
didn't
the-
want to
yeah.
do it. So we're
going to talk about it. So here's what we're going to talk
Yeah.
about. And this
Well,
is this is released yesterday. So
You
you
just weren't
couldn't.
ready. We weren't ready yesterday.
Well,
yeah, we
we
figured
couldn't-
we'd talk about it today.
It just, yeah. So Texas School District removes a convicted prostitute for multiple roles, including an oversight of sex ed. And this happened in Godly ISD. She was appointed friendly and personal woman to committee unaware of her prostitution conviction. Now, to understand a couple of things, prostitution in the state of Texas for women is a misdemeanor. If you are a male prostitute and you are convicted, it's a felony.
Wow.
Interesting.
That's weird.
Yeah, totally weird, right? So, I mean, sidebar note. So it's a misdemeanor. Anytime that you join, and I'll speak specifically on Godly ISD because their policy is you have to have a background check, right? And I think most school districts are like this, that if you're going to participate in anything as a volunteer, or if you're going to be on committees, they do background checks to make sure that we're not allowing sexual predators or groomers, trafficking groomers, anything that can harm a person that can harm our children into a fold where they are participating in policy, education guidance, curriculum, teaching, or in any position where our children can be unsafe. And I mean, we've seen that happen. And so that's why these are put into place. So this woman was appointed to multiple roles. She was assisting with deciding things like age appropriate material for sex education. And she was on the PTA. She was on multiple other committees and
Was she a
boards.
volunteer or they actually hire her? I mean,
No, she's a volunteer. She was,
okay.
yeah, you're appointed to a lot of these committees. So a spokesperson.
But she was a teacher.
Pardon me? No, she was not a teacher. She was not a teacher. No,
But she should have still gone through a background check.
correct. And that's and that is Godly ISD's policy. And so the issue that the whistleblowers were bringing up was not so much trying to judge this woman of her transgressions, not just past, but current, because she is still currently listed as an escort. Escorts in Texas are legal. That's not deemed a sexual thing because it's a companionship. So that's not illegal. However, she was also during this conviction, and she was convicted in 2012 and 2016 of prostitution. She was also, the judge ordered that I guess certain children are not allowed to be in her home or in her presence. So, all right, we're gonna go to commercial. We're gonna come back with Adam Smith.
Adam.
We're gonna come back with Adam Smith, and when we are done with that, we'll kind of revisit this conversation. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
All right.
Abnormal realities.
I love my mom.
Yep. She sent me a message.
My mom did?
Yeah, Wednesday night, and she invited me over tomorrow night.
I'll
We
take the
watched
dark green, babe.
popcorn, and I accepted.
You did?
Yep.
That'd be fun.
And she calls it Chaps Only Night every Saturday night.
Look,
Miss Dixie,
look.
how you doing? He said, "It's my mom, bro. All right, it's my mom."
I want to hear the answer to the Titanic and popcorn. Go ahead, Mom. What's up?
Oh,
Hi, boys.
Hi,
I just
Mom.
wanted to ask Rocky if he wanted butter on that popcorn or not.
I
my
would rather
God.
have the butter somewhere else, but if popcorn's the only place I can have it, I'll take it.
Jeez,
Hey,
dude.
nobody says I can't roll around in it for a little bit.
All right, Mom.
That is my
Love you.
girl. I love you,
Mom.
Dixie.
Abnormal realities
My mom, love you.
Dixie.
I love you too.
with Ron and Rocky. Weekdays, 4 p.m. and 10 p.m. on JoCo Community Radio.
Holy crap.
Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395.
JoCo Community Radio. Listen live at tunein.com.
And thank you for coming back to JoCo Vibes. JoCo Community Radio is proud to be the voice of Johnson County and is live 24/7 on the TuneIn Radio Network. TuneInJoCo.com is a place to find all the ways to listen and watch. And the station app is also available for free on Android and Apple devices. Simply search your store. Check out our lineup and more at JoCoCommunityRadio.com. This episode and more brought to you by Next Level Claims, making your insurance work for you. Reach out to your Texas sales rep at 844-TEX-HAIL. That's 844-TEX-HAIL.
Look at you guys with your pronunciation.
Be sure to dress
Beautiful
your
job.
arms and more at thetiffy.com. I was less animated yesterday also. I just want you to know I tried
That was
really
a
hard.
private conversation. I don't know why you're bringing it up.
She
Private
brings it
conversation.
up.
All right. Well, welcome back to the second
It's
half.
a good conversation.
You never know what's going to be said.
Well, welcome back to the second half of JoCo Vibes here on JoCo Community Radio. I'm Tiffany Carlin with Nona Reed and Sarah Reeves. And joining us now, special guest and the most amazing trainer nutritionist in the world, Adam Smith.
Good morning. Good morning. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Happy
Thank you very much.
Thanksgiving.
How was everyone's Thanksgiving?
Good.
It's wonderful.
Did everyone behave
You know-
themselves?
Yes.
No.
Yeah. No.
I know the answer. I just want to know who's being truthful or not.
I'm
I actually, for the first time, walked away with more protein on my plate. And I mean, I love turkey and dressing. And so, yeah, that was a big part of turkey.
Yeah.
And then I didn't eat much of the sides.
I
So-
did try to make a few slight changes to make progress, right? Like I was like trying to make sure I got my protein in the morning and, trying to do better on some other things too.
So my challenge typically is not eating at dinner. I'm cooking all day, so I'm taste testing. So I did not do well on protein on Thanksgiving morning, and that's because I was making fresh stuffing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm typically taste testing that to make sure it's got exactly the consistency and taste and moistness that I want before I stuff the bird and put it in the oven. So I pretty much ate stuffing for breakfast with my coffee. I mean, can't lie about it. I don't know if I ate anything in the middle of the day, but I was sick though. So I didn't have much of an appetite.
Mm-hmm.
So dinner, I think I did great. I mean, I try not to overeat, and dessert, I didn't do anything but an apple pie this year. So I didn't even eat apple pie. My dessert was my one beverage of choice. And that there is typically my challenge. And so, yeah, so most of it was there, but other than that, it was fantastic. We had a great time with family in Australia,
Mm-hmm.
where you were born and raised, right? What's a typical Thanksgiving look like?
They don't have Thanksgiving.
I was
Not
like,
at
they
all,
don't
right?
have
It's just, well, I don't know, because I asked that because, you know, it seems like such an adaptive thing. You have people that move, you know, from all over the world.
Yeah.
And so traditions tend to carry over into other countries. So is there anything that's similar to that?
Yeah, so I'm English heritage, but what we do is like the roast dinner on a Saturday or Sunday lunch or something like that. So it's more of like a family gathering together, so similar to Thanksgiving, but it's not titled as Thanksgiving. And it can kind of happen every Sunday, but we do like a big roast beef or roast chicken or something like that. So
Yeah, every weekend. It's family dinner, Sunday
Yeah.
family, Saturday or Sunday family dinner.
Yeah.
So that's really good. So as you've been living in the States,
Mhm.
have you conformed, or have you, been invited
Yeah.
to Friendsgiving? And
I'm a big fan of it. I'm a big fan. Like I'm a big fan of turkey and a big fan of getting together with everyone. And it's awesome because you're getting the family together for that day, right? So some people you haven't seen in ages, some people you've seen yesterday, but it's still a good day. So.
Awesome. All right, so let's get to talking about some tips that we can help people stay on track and be on track. What's your goal this week for us?
The first thing I want to address is the people that say they don't eat breakfast, right? Or they skip breakfast. So I want to try and help you overcome this, because breakfast is a vital part of you losing weight and then just being able to navigate the day when it comes to food. So a couple of hacks with this is, one, try and get in at least 30 grams of protein within the first 30 minutes of waking up. So this can be hard-boiled eggs, fried eggs, it can be food, it can be a protein shake, it doesn't matter, but about 30 grams of protein. The reason we want to do this is because often if we skip breakfast and we get through the day, we eat like early lunchtime-ish, and what happens is by the afternoon, we have that crash, right? We have that crash around 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and then we get really hungry by the end of the day, so we end up eating Oreos while we're cooking dinner or snacking or getting takeout on the way home. So we want to try and avoid that roller coaster. And we want to avoid that roller coaster when it comes to our blood sugar as well. So we want to try and maintain our blood sugar the entire day. Our blood sugar level shouldn't look like an EKG machine. It shouldn't be up and down all day. It should be one steady level the whole day. The way we navigate this is by having something in the morning that's high protein. So whatever that is for you, whatever's easiest for you, lean into that. And then just gradually make the breakfast a little bit bigger. And it will help with the lack of hunger in the morning. And it will decrease how hungry you are at the end of the day.
I will say that during this past, I'm going to go with not the full 10 days that I've been sick, but the past probably 5, I've noticed, and I don't know if this is because I'm sick or what, but I've had odd cravings, and not so much cravings as much as I just wanted to eat. Can you explain that? Like I really couldn't figure it out. It was like, what am I lacking? What was I lacking that was just making me feel like I just wanted to keep feeding my sickness, is how I felt.
There's a couple things that go on with cravings. One is nutritional cravings, and then the other is emotional cravings, right? For example, when you're sick, your body tends to crave things like salt or magnesium, zinc, minerals, vitamins that's going to help it get better. So the best way to anticipate that is either lean into like the old school wives' tale of, chicken broth or chicken soup when you're sick, making sure that you're hydrated as much as possible, because your body doesn't know the difference between dehydration or hunger. It just tells you that you need something, and most of us will just lean into eating something. So we want to make sure that we're hydrated enough. We want to make sure we have enough vitamins in our system. So simply just making sure we're having enough zinc, magnesium, enough salts, that kind of stuff is going to help with those cravings.
I did eat a lot of soup because I did make homemade chicken soup earlier in the week. Like, who does that before Thanksgiving? But that was the one thing I'll typically turn to doing is I'll just go buy a whole cooked rotisserie chicken and boil or steam it down and then make my homemade broth from that.
Yeah, perfect.
And then I just felt like I could never get enough of it.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing, remember, your immune system is run down when you're sick. So your body's natural thing is to try and replenish its immune system by feeding it food to fix it, right? So it might be lacking minerals, it might be lacking vitamins, but also it knows if it can take care of itself by feeding it good food, getting enough rest, then you're definitely going to get to a point where your body's fixing itself again. So this is probably why you kept on craving a lot of food.
So you mentioned magnesium.
Hmm.
Can you talk about the importance of magnesium in the diet and
Yeah.
when you have that lack of magnesium, what it does to you?
Yeah. So when it comes to magnesium, it has a couple different benefits. One of my favorite ones is that it's going to help you sleep. So if you get powdered magnesium from a company that I use called Calm, CALM, it comes in a range of different flavors, but you can drink magnesium before you go to bed. It's going to help get you into a deeper REM sleep. But also, if you've just started working out or if you've just started being active, and you're finding you're getting a lot of, I think you call them Charlie horses here in the US, or like dead leg,
Mhm.
or like muscle cramp.
I get those like every night.
Yeah, it's because of the lack of magnesium in your diet. So magnesium, zinc, and salt are the culprits for those kind of cramps. So having powdered magnesium is a massive add to your journey, but you can get it from any store. I'm just going to ask you to get powdered magnesium versus tablet form.
Okay, talk about that for me, because I typically take a 400 milligram gel tablet. But if there's a difference between the drinking it.
Yeah, so essentially your body has to do less work when it's powdered, right? So you still have to get it still has to get filtered and it still has to go through the system, but your absorption rate is going to be a little bit quicker. It also, what I've found is, like Calm, for example, it has a great source of magnesium. A lot of tablets, a lot of things out there, you don't know the quality and the source of everything. This is why I stay away from like multivitamins, because most of the time multivitamins aren't the highest quality of individual vitamins that you need. So getting powdered magnesium, again, from Calm, for example, having that before you go to bed, the absorption rate's quicker. So you're going to get it in your system quicker. You'll feel the effects within about 15 or 20 minutes to help you sort of decompress and fall asleep.
So it's faster. Okay.
Yeah.
Which is, and that makes sense to me, because I have a challenge digesting stuff. It takes a lot longer for me. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You can test your supplements also by putting them in water and see if they ought to start dissolving within 10 seconds, and then 30 seconds they should really be dissolving pretty, like starting to really be activated basically and dissolving and getting into your system. So if you test your supplements and make sure that they're actually dissolving
Yeah, good point.
quickly.
Great point. The
great.
other thing with this is, remember, the supplements you take, you shouldn't have to take every day for the rest of your life. The supplements are there to supplement lacking in your diet. And when I say diet, I don't mean restriction. I mean like what you're eating every single day. So if you go and get your bloods done, which you should do every 3 to 6 months to see where you're at, and if you notice that you're lacking in vitamin D, then you have to take liquid vitamin D to get your numbers up and then get retested to see where you're at. You shouldn't take it every day for the rest of your life.
And that's a huge thing for women too. So when I turned 42 and my demeanor had changed, and I didn't know what I felt, not depressed, but melancholy. And I was like, this isn't me. And so when I went in and had all my tests done, of course, my testosterone was tanked, but so was my D. My D3 was negative. It wasn't even showing up on the chart. And that happens to women when you turn over 40. And so I take, and I don't necessarily take it every day, which is really interesting, because sometimes if you listen to your body will tell you you're missing this, you need more of that. But I take a dissolving D3 and a dissolving B12. And especially if I haven't gotten out. So like during, being sick, I don't feel like getting outside and going for a walk. I at least take that. But I have a question for you, because I found the Calm, and there's a Calm Sleep. It's a magnesium supplement with melatonin and L-theanine and GABA. And I found this on Amazon. Is this the one you take?
Yeah, so you can take that, which is obviously geared to help you sleep, or you can take, they've got another one, I forget the name of it now. There's quite a few on their website, but you can take a separate one that doesn't have melatonin in it, because I understand some people don't have the best effect when they take melatonin. So it just depends on you as an individual. I don't have melatonin in mine. I just take the standard magnesium.
Okay. Is it the naturalcalm.ca website? I just want to make sure I'm looking at the correct product, because they have it on, you can find it on Amazon too. And so they have both. And so that's what I was looking at. What do you think do you find that there's a challenge with taking melatonin?
I just think it's like anything, right? It's a great sleep aid if you're going through a stage of your life where you're struggling to fall asleep. But if you lean on it too heavily, like anything, it's going to start to replace your body's natural production of it. There are way better ways to negotiate your sleep, such things as like doing some grounding, so getting your bare feet on the grass early in the morning and later in the evening, getting as much sunlight as you can. I mean, you know, we're in winter now, but we can still step outside during the middle of the day for 10 or 15 minutes and get some sunlight. Getting your circadian rhythm, so the rhythm of nighttime and daytime and our body internal clock, that kind of stuff helps a lot. And then simple things like increasing your activity through the day. So making sure you're working out or doing something and getting those steps in, that's all going to help you fall asleep as well.
Sex,
I don't like
and sex before bed.
Increasing your activity, you're fine.
I don't like the
That's why I'm trying to
melatonin
throw it
because
out there.
it affects my hormones, you know, and that's like, because it is a hormone. And I mean, I can tell a difference if I ever would use it like crabby, man. Like I feel like I've been on birth control or something. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, nah, I'm good.
I mean, there's tons of other natural sleep aids you can use. You know, even like certain teas are fine. You can use certain natural production of stuff. I'll send some links out to you guys to go and check out, but you don't need to use melatonin all the time. The thing is, most people on this health journey, unfortunately, always look for the easiest option. And obviously the easiest option is just taking something versus like fixing what's actually wrong, right? Because if you just take something and you just put a Band-Aid over a bullet wound, you're then going to have 4 or 5 or 6 other problems arise from that, versus just addressing the fact that, hey, maybe I need to get up a little bit earlier, and maybe I need to do some activity, maybe I need some sun, maybe I need to take care of my body a bit better.
I drink a natural herb sleepy time tea.
Yeah,
and
perfect.
so I'm going to order the Calm, and I'm going to add that to my sleepy time tea instead of taking the giant horse pill that's taking way longer to actually affect me. Well, I mean, it's true, right? It's
huge.
such a big pill.
They're huge.
And it doesn't. And so for me, the way my metabolism works, it's going to take about 2 hours for it to actually kick in. And so I need something that's going to kick in and say, stop, turn everything off, and I can't keep my eyes open anymore. I had another question for you, and we could totally talk about this next week too, but I think it's a great conversation because you grew up in Europe. It's, you know, you talk about getting out there in the middle of the afternoon. I think it was a post you put up yesterday over your story, because I love to seeing you go out with, I love your dog. I love Bullet. He's so cute. And so, you know, you post very simple things of going, hey, you know, even Bullet knows it's important to get out midday, get out in the sun and take a quick break. That's a very scheduled thing in European lifestyle, is it not? To say, okay, everything shuts down for like 2 hours in a lot of countries.
Well, yeah, I mean, like Spain.
Siesta.
Yeah, Spain's one of those things where they'll just shut down from like 12 o'clock to 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You just go nap or go to the beach or go do whatever, and then you work a little bit later. But a big part of this is, and like I said to you before, Tiff, and everyone that's in the group, my Facebook group, is the whole point of being and doing this journey with me or in the Facebook group is just being as healthy as possible, right? For as long as possible. A lot of the stuff that we deal with isn't going to get fixed overnight, but it will eventually get fixed if you stick to it. And simply like having a non-negotiable middle of the day, like the sun's out today for most of you, I can see, go out and just go have coffee outside or stand in the sun for 10 or 15 minutes. It'll make a world of difference to how you feel for the rest of the day.
I find that that is definitely one of the things during the summer that, you know, I do take that time out by the pool. When it gets to the colder months, it is more challenging, but I've set myself, of course, not the way I've been feeling the past 10 days, to make it a goal of getting up and setting part of one of those new habits is to get up and actually take the dog for a walk.
Yeah, perfect.
You know, even if I can only make 10 minutes. And so that's one of the new habits that I'm setting in place for me. So tell everybody where they can go find you, Adam.
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram. So it's _fat loss coach. And then on Facebook as well. You've got the links for that. But just quickly, I'm going to run a 14-day free challenge for anyone and everyone that's either in the Facebook group or on Instagram. If you want to jump in, you can. So it starts on Monday. We're basically going to dive into how to eat what you want on the weekends and still lose weight.
That's the one that won in
yeah, that's the one that won. Yep, that's it.
I you know what? I like that because and like even this morning, I forced myself to eat eggs. So
Good.
And it's not so much that I don't want to eat breakfast, it's making sure that I eat breakfast, right? It's that time thing.
Yeah. 100%.
But I like the idea of going, okay, I'm going to be more, I don't want to say restrictive, and because we don't like to use that word, but I'm going to be more on top of what I'm eating during the week so that I can reward myself at the end of the week.
100%.
Whether that's my glass of red wine, or two.
Or your pumpkin pie or apple pie or whatever you want to eat this winter.
I mean, whatever it is for people. I'm not like a big sweets person. It's like a once in a while kind of thing. So, but whatever that is. So I really like being able to do that. So be sure to go to Instagram.com/the_, fat loss coach, or you can message me privately, and I will connect you through Facebook, through Instagram, on how to get to Adam. And of course, he joins us every Wednesday for Wellness Wednesday to talk about all this. So I hope everybody will get on and join this challenge with me, because we're going to have a blast. And I mean, I don't know, maybe we'll come up with a cool wager, Adam.
Okay.
I mean, don't you like to dangle some mistletoe or something?
You got to have some sort of incentive, right?
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, the incentive is great health. I mean, let's go there first. But I mean, whatever that incentive is for yourself, right? I mean, don't you think it's good too for people to set their own reward?
Well, yeah,
as
100%.
well.
100%, right? So your reward might be the fact that you just want to feel better in jeans, or be able to have sex without the lights, or with the lights on, rather, whatever it is for you, right? So this is the thing. Everyone's got their own agenda, but a big part of this is understanding that this is something you have to do for the rest of your life. So you got to enjoy it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's not a 30-day fix. You got to keep
100%.
going. All right, Adam, I appreciate your time this morning. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, you're welcome. Good to see you all.
Oh, hey. Okay.
Thank you. And by the way, I've been doing my protein.
Pardon?
I've been doing my protein in the morning.
Good job. Well done. Nice.
Good job, Nona. Is there a story behind the Y over your window?
That is the South African flag.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I was born in South Africa and I grew up in South Africa, and then I moved to Australia.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's just the South African flag.
I love it. I guess I wasn't paying attention correctly, so I turned my head. All right,
go.
Awesome. Have an amazing week, and I'll see you online. Well,
Soon.
probably later today.
All right, awesome, guys. See you next week.
All right,
Bye.
Adam. Have a good one. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Man, there's a lot of information today.
It's good information, though, right? I mean,
yeah.
I boiled a big pot. Like I started off yesterday boiling a pot of 8 hard-boiled eggs, and I just stick them in the fridge. So and that's like the best thing to do for people who say, "Oh, I don't have time to cook something for breakfast." Make your hard-boiled eggs so you can just take them out, and I go ahead and deshell them.
Well, the last Wednesday we had him on, when it was just Bree and I, we talked about the Kodiak, right? Is it Kodiak?
The Kodiak waffles and stuff.
So I already been doing the waffles.
Do you like the waffle? Okay, so I didn't try the waffles. I tried the Kodiak.
The pancakes?
Oh no, I did the when he first told me about it last year. I did the muffins.
Okay, yeah, I haven't done this.
Yeah.
Like I would get those Kodiak waffles, and like they're like, cause I like the dark chocolate one, and they're really dry. But I just get whipped cream.
Yeah,
they
are
a
little
just
dry,
to make
but
it
they're
moist.
They don't taste bad.
But I don't eat syrup.
It's different. It's different.
So I mean, or I do. I've done the Fairlight shakes, the 30 grams, or I've done the Premier.
I do Incarnation instant breakfast.
I mean,
high protein.
I've done the eggs. I've done, just regular hard boiled eggs. So
I found that Calm magnesium supplement at CVS in stock, and it's only like $13.79.
There you go.
Yeah, it's easy. Or you can order it online at naturalcalm.ca. Or I also found it on Amazon. So I mean,
but you could just pop into the store.
Yeah, and that's something that is definitely this Mary Poppins you were thinking of. So so that's, I mean, that's an easy That's an easy thing to add to your diet to sleep better. And
Yeah.
that's definitely
Yeah, I mean,
something I'm
even
going to
having
do.
leg cramps like every single night,
Yeah.
multiple times.
Yeah,
They
that's no good.
calmed down yesterday. I didn't have any yesterday, so
Yeah.
maybe I'm making progress finally.
You're getting some magnesium in your body.
Pickle juice and like I've been trying to hydrate a little bit more. Coming
Yeah.
back, Colorado. When I got back from Colorado, like number one, I was already dehydrated going up there. Number two, going up there and having all those canned pork chops.
Yeah.
She probably don't because she didn't. Did you listen yesterday at all?
My brother, he drinks Coors Lights, and he's like, "There's a pork chop in every can." I'm like, "Okay, no, but whatever."
No, there isn't, brother.
But so, coming back from Colorado, it's just so dry up there too. So I guess maybe I'm starting to hydrate again a little bit. I'm like, I need to do a little bit more, but definitely need to get some magnesium. The 2 days I got back, I've like my legs cramped like 15 times that day. I was like, this isn't working for me.
Yeah, no good, no good. All right, so tomorrow morning we'll dive in a little bit more in this godly ISD business, but I think it's important to talk about. It's really important to talk about because people have attacked these two women who went on the news, and I think it's important to get back to what the focus was of the entire thing, which is accountability for the ISD and the superintendent who ignored this information that was brought to him, and it's in writing, it's in email. He ignored it for 2 weeks. So we'll dive more into that, when we get back tomorrow. Did you guys do word of the week yesterday?
Yes. It was
See, I didn't
stay.
get to. It was stay. I love it.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Awesome. So we've got a great lineup for the rest of the day that we want to make sure people are tuning into. Later today at 6 p.m., we have the JoCo Voice with Mike Wilshire. And at 8 p.m., we have Hybrid Life with Coach Greg. And in between any live talk show, we are spinning Texas artists throughout the day. So be sure you can easily search your phone, your Android or Apple store for the JoCo Community Radio app, and where we are live 24/7. And we're also live 24/7 on the TuneIn Radio Network, where you can also find our radio station. So you can listen 24/7 either way.
I can't wait to see y'all again on tomorrow. Thankful Thursday.
Have an amazing Wednesday, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Be kind and God bless.
Bye.
From Burleson to Venus and Grandview to Godly, this is the voice of Johnson County, JoCo Community Radio.